This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Now we gotta go right back. I head home. They're not really learning anything because they don't have enough time to learn anything.
More fallout from the decision by a local middle school to return to online learning because of all kinds of behavior issues with the students there. We're going to hear from some frustrated parents who are worried about how this move will impact their kids' education.
Plus, more clinics are popping up to get kids vaccinated against COVID. Where Oregon stands on getting those shots to the very youngest who are eligible.
And this is pretty cool. Beginning tomorrow, you have a chance to immerse yourself in some of history's greatest works of art. Later this hour here on Sunrise, we're going to take a sneak peek at the Beyond Van Gogh event that's happening at the Oregon Convention Center.
It is. It's all around you. It's almost like a 360 deal. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday Eve. We're inching our way to the weekend. Nina's off,
slow
but
crawl.
pulling ourselves across
Yes.
the finish line. Nina is enjoying a 4-day weekend. How's our forecast today?
Warmer because we have cloud cover. Remember, yesterday it was cold outside. This morning we're holding at 40 or better. Here's a busy radar. Clouds are pretty much solid across our entire region, and the radar looks busy, but the reality is you can't hardly find anybody that's been reporting any of this actually reaching the ground. The lower level of the atmosphere is very dry, but nonetheless, realize you could find, a trace of moisture on your early morning commute. There's Canby, Portland Battleground, Mount Angel. Overall, it's just dry. Temperature outside, nice, 47 degrees. We still have easterlies near the gorge. Those won't be ending until overnight tonight. So at the bus stop, we'll go mainly dry, 45 degrees. It's this afternoon the rain starts to pick up, and eventually by the time the kids get out of school, it could be raining in more areas than not, and it'll be about 48 degrees at that time.
All right, Rob, thank you much. Well, this morning we start with the turmoil at Reynolds Middle School. Teachers shared ideas with the school board last night about how to make things safer after fights and other trouble sent students back to remote learning until December 7th. Teachers want more support for social emotional learning. And they want to hire 4 more campus monitors. 2 would be at Reynolds Middle School, and then 2 would be at the high school.
Doing somewhat of a school safety audit and looking at our security measures, we take it very seriously. We want to know if there's areas and room for improvement.
A lot of parents say they're really frustrated with the decision to go back to remote learning at Reynolds Middle School.
It sucks. We just going back to school with them, and now we gotta go right back. I head home. They're not really learning anything because they don't have enough time to learn anything.
Students will be off today and tomorrow, so teachers can prepare for remote learning starting Monday.
Emotions are also getting heated in Grants Pass after a controversial decision by the school board there. Hundreds of students walked out of class earlier this week in protest after the school board reinstated 2 employees who had been fired. Those employees were fired for promoting the I Resolve movement. I Resolve is an organization that pushes education leaders to adopt anti-transgender policies around everything from bathrooms to pronoun use. Students say reinstating those 2 employees is hurtful to transgender and other LGBTQ students.
Wanted to give these students that felt like they didn't have a voice and they didn't feel safe in the school, you wanted them to feel this support. And if they're coming out here being surrounded by hundreds of other students, I really think people are coming out of this with a positive mentality.
So during the walkout, there was a counter protest and those people started fighting. We're talking students and adults. In fact, police wound up arresting 2 students that day and 1 adult.
The rollout is ramping up when it comes to the COVID vaccine for kids 5 to 11. In the last week, the Oregon Health Authority says providers have given out about 4,000 doses a day. Alma McCarty dives into the data and the effort to get more shots in arms.
In addition to finding shots at pharmacies or at the pediatrician's office, families are finding other opportunities, big and small, for their children. A full-service, state-run clinic in Washington County opened last week, providing a spectrum of shots for everyone in the family. OHA plans to hold similar clinics, areas like Gresham, Wilsonville, and Almsville named as possible locations. Providence Health and Services, partnering with the Portland Timbers and Thorns, will offer a large-scale, kid-focused clinic at Providence Park Thursday afternoon. This runs from 4 to 8 p.m. and is a walk-in clinic, no registration required. On a smaller scale, expect more vaccination opportunities like this one in Beaverton.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
On Wednesday night, kids 5 to 11 at MVP Dance Elite could get their first dose, while older students and parents could get boosters.
Kids are so excited to get shots. A lot of them have older siblings that got shots, so they want one also.
Dr. Maureen Mays says she's extending her outreach beyond this one studio to other after-school spots to help families fit the vaccine into their busy schedules.
Kids feel comfortable here. They see their friends getting shots. They don't have to wait in line for hours and hours and hours in the car. All those things that just are huge blocks into getting shots in kids' arms.
I was excited to have our whole family vaccinated for us and for others, but I was also a concerned parent.
Kirsten Killingstad says she took her vaccine questions to her son's pediatrician, alleviating her nerves. She then brought him here to a place he knows well.
Filled with people we know, a place that's comfortable, and although there's doctors here in white coats administering the shots, it's not hospital-y or doctor-y. It's a more of a comfort kind of a feel, I guess I would say.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Next on Sunrise, we want to tell you about a Little League organization based in Troutdale that's dealing with another round of vandalism. We say another because the situation has been going on for a while there with Reynolds East County Little League. They've been hit several times over the last 6 months. This time around, they found graffiti everywhere around their fields. The vandals also broke into equipment lockups. They broke or stole tools. They also ruined other expensive supplies that they used to keep those ball fields in shape. And they also stole security cameras, which weren't even working because of vandalism that happened there 2 weeks ago.
We have to cover up all the graffiti, we have to pick up all their garbage, and then we got to take about $7,000 we don't have in our bank account and replace the cameras and the equipment that they broke and took from us.
If you can help that Little League group, we have information about how to help on our website, kgw.com.
Well, today is the Great American Smokeout. The event happens every third Thursday of November. The American Cancer Society has sponsored this for more than 40 years. It wants smokers to quit for just one day, hoping it'll help them quit for good. Here in the U.S., more people die from lung cancer than colon, breast, and prostate cancers combined. But doctors say lung cancer is curable, at least when it's found early enough. That's why they suggest smokers over 50 talk to their doctor about a screening.
And for patients with a significant smoking history who are over the age of 50, there are multiple studies that have been shown that there may be a survival benefit in those patients if they get lung cancer screening done.
So if you want to quit, there are plenty of resources for you, including the two we're showing on your screen. You can visit quitnow.net or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. They offer coaching support and also nicotine replacement therapy.
All right, we want to talk about businesses in downtown Portland here for a minute because we knew the situation was bad. But how about this stat? Since last year, the percentage of empty storefronts in downtown Portland has actually quadrupled.
Yeah, that's a huge number. This morning, Joe Ranieri tells us about an effort to fill the space and help the owners pay their bills.
Nearly 2 years after businesses everywhere were rocked by COVID-19, 15% of retail space in downtown Portland is empty.
We definitely have a higher vacancy than we have seen in previous years, and that's kind of one of the goals with the pop-up shop and why we were able to do 7 pop-up shops is there was a little bit more space this year.
To fill the store space, 2 groups are partnering to bring pop-ups downtown. Downtown Portland Clean and Safe and the Portland Business Alliance are helping owners with rent and utilities.
So the idea is that they get to experiment with having their very first brick and mortar store in the downtown area. It is an opportunity to kind of lift up these businesses.
The pop-up program started pre-COVID. In fact, this is the 12th year and seems more needed than ever.
We work together to provide all the utilities and the rent for all of the pop-up shops. We definitely worked with Pioneer Place and Brookfield Properties.
The owners of the 7 different building spaces waive the cost of rent. One of the pop-ups is Ceramics Northwest. Through the end of the year, it'll occupy the space previously rented by Microsoft, along Southwest Yamhill.
It's nice to be downtown again. It's nice to have all of this visibility that we've got in the storefront here. And it's really nice to see all of the artists together again.
There were twice as many applicants as spots for the pop-ups. Among the 7 selected, great company.
It feels awesome. It's been a wild ride, lots of nerves, but mostly excitement, and just definitely a dream of both of ours.
In early 2020, there was a 3% vacancy rate for retail space in downtown Portland. Now it's 5 times that. The pop-up opportunity gives owners hope for the holidays.
We're really excited for all of the visibility and the foot traffic that we think this spot can bring to us.
In downtown Portland, Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
Yeah, we're happy to help spread the word, a little positivity this morning. So, Rod, what do you have cooking back there in the Weather Center this morning?
All right, we have this low pressure center offshore. Yesterday, remember, this was an impressive ball of clouds that was way out to sea, but there it is now nearing the coast, throwing clouds across our entire region, and we're starting to pick up some light moisture. I mentioned earlier in the show that it's tough to find anybody that's actually reporting anything reaching the ground. The lower levels of the atmosphere are so dry, but realize you could find a speck or a trace of moisture early this morning on your commute in. All right, under the clouds, we have 45 in Salem, 47 in Portland, much warmer than 24 hours ago. The coast is in the 40s, Kelso 41, still chilly and mostly cloudy out across eastern Oregon. So those clouds are thinner with lows temperatures in the 20s right now out in Burns. So futurecast, there's a shower chance this morning. Here we are at 10 o'clock, but this still looks to be a morning that overall here on the west side is mainly dry and then increasing rain this afternoon. Here we are at 3 o'clock, some pretty good rain pockets now starting to fill in. And then a rainy evening overall, 8 o'clock, and a rainy night overall still expected. About 1/2 of an inch from this particular storm center. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, current timing still has everything moving out, and then we would be dry for the remainder of tomorrow and dry all weekend. If you're getting east winds, they've been blowing to about 35 out near the Columbia River. Those winds will be ending overnight tonight, and then tomorrow it's a northwest breeze returning just 5 to 15 miles per hour. 7-day forecast, so we go dry tomorrow afternoon. We're dry all weekend. I still think it's questionable, especially on Sunday, whether or not we get out of the low clouds and fog we expect in the morning. Weak system Monday. Right now, Tuesday, Wednesday look dry, but there is a weather system expected to pick up the rain during Thanksgiving Day. It could be a wet turkey, unless you cook inside.
Rod, your 7-day forecast, always cool to look at, but here's something else that's pretty cool to look at. How about immersing yourself in the middle of a painting, in the middle of a work of art? You can actually be part of the landscape, if you will, thanks to this exhibit that's happening at the Oregon Convention Center. They call it Beyond Van Gogh. It's all about Vincent Van Gogh's artwork, and we're going to take you inside coming up here in just a few minutes on Sunrise. But first, we're all aware that prices for just about everything are up right now. But exactly how big have some of those price hikes been? Our Verify team looks into a claim that milk prices are soaring higher than inflation right now. We have that right after this quick break.